please. Hold, 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 please. Brown Girl Bella. Hello, babes. Welcome to Sunday Sips. I know I'm a little tardy for the party. So sorry. That rhymed. I'm a little tardy for the party and I'm sorry. However, I was actually scheduled to go out today, but plans changed. And then I was doing my nails because I really needed to do them. And get them done. So that was done. And then I was doing some admin work and I realized I didn't even post it up that I was doing a Sunday Sips. So sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Shannon. This is Sunday Sips. And I am going to be doing a little mix of new stuff. So for those of you who are coming into Sunday Sips, you're in for a treat today because this is going to be a first impressions. We're going to try on some new makeup. Hopefully, fingers crossed, some of it will work. But we will try it on and let's see how this goes. I have on some new fragrance, so I'm going to share that with you too, as well as the details of everything. Hello to those coming in. Hey, Angela. Your notification actually worked today. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for coming in. Don't forget to let your friends, your foes, all you knows come on in and hang out with BGB. We're going to be talking about a number of things today. So let's just jump in and get started. Don't forget to thumbs it up for those of you who are in the clouds or my cloud cuties. Welcome in, cloud cuties. All right, I need to put on a little bit of skincare. I'm going to use the Summer Fridays CC Me Serum. Some of you may remember this. This was in my Cult Beauty Advent Calendar box. Looks like this. You just really need one pump for your entire face. I love this. It's so moisturizing and it makes my skin feel so hydrated without looking greasy. As you can see, it doesn't look too oily, but it really does coat my face really, really nicely. I'm also going to throw on a little lip balm because we are going to be trying a red lipstick, and it is going to be a matte. It is the new Pat McGrath times Marc Jacobs Matte Trans. I'm saying new in air quotes because I do believe this is a re-release, but I never had it. Imagine that. Me, Brown Girl Bella, Shannon, not having a matte trans from Pat McGrath in my collection. I mean, I thought I had every single matte trans there was to have. I thought I did. But lo and behold, I checked the collection and no Forbidden Love was located. So I grabbed it. And it is the same price as her usual lipsticks, $39. And because the other things, and you will see some things that I got from Sephora, I actually use that $100 rouge discount that pops up every once in a while. I actually got the rouge discount twice in a row. I don't know how that happened or how I managed to get it twice in a row. Usually I only get it once, and then by the time I try to go back in to get it again, it disappears. But this time I got it twice, and I was able to get some things that I had my eye on but didn't want to spend the money. Sometimes I get in my little cheapy modes, but I don't really want to spend the money, but I really want the product. But because I had that $100 rouge discount, I was able to get it and not feel bad, because if it's not the right color or if it doesn't work for me, I don't feel so bad because I didn't actually pay for it. I used my coupon. So that's what I did in the case of a couple of things. So we'll show you those momentarily as well. I'm just pulling out the last bits of my stuff that I want to use today. And I feel like I have so many things that I have been trying, but for some reason it just didn't work out. So this week I am recording my favorites and my fails. And for 1 month, for this month, I actually have quite a few fails that I'm going to be showing you. And one that I was really heartbroken that it failed. I was really, truly heartbroken that it failed. But I will share all of that with you all in my video. It'll probably be recorded either tomorrow or Tuesday, which means it'll probably be up either the leap day, which is what I'm trying to get it up for, or it'll be the first week in March, which is usually when my monthly faves come out. So let's start with these eyebrows. And I don't know if anybody saw last night's documentary with Wendy Williams. I have some thoughts. Coupons are always great saving. Girl, $100. I was on that quick. I was on that so quick. I was like, yeah, let me jump on this real fast and grab this, because I was like, honey, I need these coupons in my life. And like I said, I usually never get them. So I'm like, yes, finally I got them. And back to back at that, I got some really cool stuff. So back to last night. I got some opinions. Here's my first thought. One, and this is just overall, women, we need to stop fearing finances. Me too. Stop fearing finances. Stop fearing the fact that you need to be on top of your finances. Make sure that if you have a bank account, that you have in place in writing with your bank, if I should be unable to do transactions, or if I become incapacitated for any reason at all, this is my financial proxy who needs to be notified and make financial decisions for me. Because as we see, if you do not have it in writing with your bank can make those decisions for you if they feel like for some reason you're not able to do bank transactions. So you love watching others apply makeup. I love seeing the enhancements, but baby, I haven't been able to put on makeup. Really? Oh, well, I hope I can help you out in any way with helping you put on makeup. And if ever anyone wants to do like a one-on-one, where I work with you to color match you, where I, help you with, doing your makeup step by step, we would do it together. Please do hit me up on Shannon at browngirlbella.com. We can walk through the process together. I can give you kind of step-by-step instructions on how to do your makeup. And what you'll find with me is I do my makeup with a very light hand because, one, I'm really not a fan of heavy makeup. I feel that makeup is an enhancement to your beauty, not a detraction to your beauty. So your natural beauty should really shine through the makeup. The makeup is only there to enhance what God has given you naturally. So I really love just using a very light hand to just enhance what is already there. So if you want to know any of the products that I use, it will always be in the description box after this video cycles through. So once it finishes doing its thing and cycles through, then all of the links and everything will be in there. Some of them are affiliate links. So if you do use it, know that in some cases I will receive a small commission, and I do mean small, but every little bit helps here because I give away different prizes. I do what's called a freebie Friday almost every Friday. I think, oops. And I always drop ish on this channel, especially live. Here we go. Drop number one. Hold, please. Okay. So let me wipe that down. I'm always dropping ish like a pigeon. I don't know what is wrong with me. I am like a complete Butterfingers once I get live. All right. So going back to Wendy, I did see a comment about it. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I think the things I'm going to be talking about are things that came out in the trades anyway. I started watching part of the Wendy Williams documentary. I have to finish. I did watch her niece's interview on The View. I did watch that too. Let me know your thoughts, Angel, because here's my thoughts. One, like I said, you need to have in writing who you want to be your financial proxy in the event that you are incapacitated. Because as we see, if you don't have it, it leaves it to interpretation on what the bank thinks that you should do. Now, I was very intrigued to know that what they're saying on the bank side is that they did do a thorough investigation of the bank and the process that they did in order to do a financial proxy for Wendy Williams. And what they're saying is that the investigation shows no wrongdoing on behalf of the bank. Interesting light, because what it tells me is that whoever is the financial proxy is someone that the bank vetted. And so whoever it is, I guess, passed the bank's scrutiny. And I don't hold the bank, responsible ultimately for what has happened, because the bank is only doing what it can to ensure that her money is safely secured. But what troubles me is the fact that the court records were sealed and that the name of the guardian, and it was revealed in the documentary yesterday that there's also a health proxy as well, which again, I don't mind, because she clearly needs a health proxy. And probably, whoever is in charge is saying that, we want to make sure that mentally she is okay, and do checks. What also intrigued me yesterday about the documentary is that we also discovered that I just put a little bit of color correction underneath my eye, kind of cancel out these dark circles. But we also found out that in the documentary, that she was going to several doctors, and a therapist. So again, that leads me to believe that whoever it is kind of doing some right things. I don't like the people that are in her camp that are being depicted in this documentary. I think none of them who are in her current payroll are people that I would trust around my loved one. I would not trust it at all. I don't trust these people. I don't think that these people have her best interests at heart at all. They don't come off believable. They don't come off sincere. They don't come off as having her best interests at heart at all. At all. And I'm sorry, whoever ultimately signed off on this documentary, which I believe is the proxy, whoever this is that has control of her money, I think that's the person that signed off on the final cut of this documentary. Because although Wendy says she saw it, I don't think she saw all the parts of it. And I don't think, even if she did see all of the parts of it, I don't think she was lucid enough to green light it. Reason being, I have been a long Wendy watcher from the days when she was in radio here in New York City. I live in the New York City metropolitan tri-state area, in case those of you who don't know that, but born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Brooklyn. But I grew up hearing her on the radio, watching her first, The Wendy Williams Experience, which was on, I think it was on VH1 or something. But I remember watching that. And I remember from like her books and her talks and things, she never, ever went out without a wig on. When she started like losing her hair because of the Graves' disease and things and putting weaves and stuff in her hair, she always wore her wigs, and she was never caught dead or alive without her wig. Okay, she always made sure that wig was on and it was secure. Okay, we never had a malfunction with Wendy. We never had any glimpses of what her hair underneath looked like unless she personally revealed it herself. So I don't think for 1 minute that she approved those images, those shots with her without that wig on. Not for a second. You can't pay me to believe that. You can't. You cannot. Reason being, that's not in Wendy's character. That's not in her character to do that and behave like that. So I knew there was something up with it. Angel says a lot of people don't know. I think she's been on an emotional roller coaster since she was younger. She's been in show business for a very long time. I'm pretty sure she talked about Britney Spears. Yeah, they mentioned that in the documentary. I'm not going to tell you like, what it was, because I know that you're still watching it. I'm using the Prada Reveal. This is the new foundation from Prada. The shade that I am going to use is DW75, which is a warm undertone and a dark tone. This is one that I got from Sephora for $3.99. I think the retail on this, let me check actually and not tell you no lies here and tell you what the retail price was on here. So let's see. So retail price on this is $70. So I was right. I was going to guess 70 and I was right. So the retail price on this is $70. This is a soft matte foundation. And it's for deep skin, like I said, with warm undertones. And it is refillable. So the product comes out of the tubing. The tubing is plastic, and you can just put it back in and it snaps closed. I'm going to pump out 1 pump onto my brush. Of course, with new pumps, you got to prime it. Sorry, so that was actually almost 2 pumps, but I wanted to make sure that it came out. All right, so this is what I'm going to use. And this is a Sonia G brush, my regular degular. So I'm sorry, Angel, you were saying, You watched Denise's interview. Okay, I saw that. Roller coaster since Britney Spears. Yes, they did mention Britney Spears and what she said on her TV show about, what Britney was going through, which now that we know her diagnosis, I understand why she said that, because at first I was clutching my pearls too, like, oh, why did she say that? That was a little, off the beaten path. But now that I understand like the condition, and I read about, what the condition can do to you, I understand now why she may have made that statement. She should have known that these situations come about, and she should have had something in play. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. If you know Wendy, like, she always talked about her being very thrifty, very savvy with her money, and she always came off to me as being very savvy with her money. She was never that person that was cavalier about money. So, to see this depicted, I'm like, that's not Wendy. That's not Wendy. And this guy who's supposedly her manager, I don't get him at all. Okay, this looks really good, babes. Y'all see this? This foundation is really nice. I think I did a good job with this color match. What you guys think? I think so. I think I did a good job. That is matte to the matte. I love, 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 love. You got to love, love, love. Remember that from School Days? Very nice. Whoop, whoop. All right, so that was the foundation. I'm going to put it back in the box because y'all know I'll be dropping ish. And even though the casing is in plastic, the actual bottle is glass. So we're gonna put this back in the box because y'all know I'll be dropping ish like a pigeon. Hey, Bray of Sunshine, welcome in. Hugs, hugs, hugs. A lot of people are just there for the money. The person who is in charge of her will not want her to get better because they control the money. Yeah, I thought that he was the one that controlled the money too. However, I don't think so. But I think he definitely knows who is, and he's definitely in cahoots with whoever is in charge. So that's the only thing that I'm like, eh. And the only reason why I think that he knows who, and he has an in with whoever is in charge, is because, not to give away too much, Angel, because I know you're still watching, but in one scene, she had a large sum of cash in the house with her, and he was like, I thought you was going to take this to the bank. I didn't know you still had it out with you. Why do you still have, all this money out with you? And I'm like, dude, because you gave it to her, and because she doesn't have control of her finances now from Wells Fargo. So any cash that she gets, yeah, of course you're going to stash it. You're going to keep it in the house. So for him saying that, I thought that was really weird and just reads to me all kinds of, you shifty, dude. You shifty. Like, I was side-eyeing that whole diatribe that he was trying to make there, talking about how, why do you have all this money in there? Because she don't have any money. That's why. You crazy? And then, hey, Burns, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so we're also using the new, well, not really new, but new to me, the bronzer stick by LYS. I am also getting their new cheek blush, which is in the same kind of component. I think it's a different color than the rose gold. I think it's more pinkish than the deep rose gold, but I did put in an order for that. They retail for $20. I think the bronzer is also either $20. Let me see. LYS bronzer. And this is also a contour stick. Yes, the bronzer is also $20. It is available at Sephora, but if you go onto the LYS site, you can use my discount code, which I will put up on the screen here, for 20% off. So that is my code. Hang on a second, let me put it up. So that is my code, LYSBGB number 5, for 20% off on LYS products. I'm gonna tell you now that blush stick that they just came out with is fire, y'all. It's fire. It is fire. $20 is fire. And like I said, you can use my discount code to get 20% off. I don't understand why everybody's not buying this. It is fire. It is going to be the blush of the spring and summer. I guarantee it. It will be. It will be. All right, babes. Let's see, because we got some more people that joined in. Hey, newbies that just came in. Okay, we know that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where we left off. So yeah, there are a bunch of yes men. You'll see that when you finish watching it, Angel. Bunch of yes men, a bunch of people who do not have her best interests at heart, that are making decisions for her and also carting her around. Like, you've seen the news reports. They're carting her around in a robe, putting her in the car, taking her out the car. Any place she goes, she's going to be photographed because it's windy, right? So why would you have her go outside with a robe on? Even if that's what she wants, you know better. You know better. And you're supposed to be able to guide this woman. Yes, she's got a sharp tongue. Yes, she be, very disrespectful and out her face to especially the women who are supposedly on her staff. I was like, we're gonna use the Pillow Talk matte blush wand by my girl Charlotte Tilbury. Hang on, just here it goes. There we go. So she was very disrespectful to the women on her staff, calling them out their name, just saying just the most reckless things. Now, as I'm told that alcohol-induced dementia will have you, saying some things that you wouldn't normally say. So that's a part of it. But the other part of it is, Wendy's not nice. You know that. We all know that. Wendy's not the nicest person. And Wendy will say, some things, she'll say some things. So if you're in her employ, just know that that's going to happen. That is absolutely going to happen. So you either deal with that. I'm going to put a little bit more because, I love to blush with my blush. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. I love to blush with my blush. So we're going to add a little bit more to the apples of my cheeks, and then we're going to blend that sucker out a little bit more. That's about enough. She was very reckless. She was very much talking out the side of her neck. But I believe she used to do that anyway. You know, there are certain women who love men more than they love women. Even though they're a woman, they're female, they're not with the whole empowerment thing. They like to be surrounded more by men than women. And they feel when they are surrounded by women, or they are, you know, in company of women, they feel like they automatically have to compete with them instead of just being, hey, I'm a boss in my own right. This is my show named for me. I don't have to compete with these women who I employ. I don't have to feel like I'm in competition with another female just to feel good about myself. And I know a lot of women, I know some women in my family. Let's call it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. I know some people in my own family who are like that, you know, who feel like, you know, they won't talk to the women in the family. It's all about the men in the family. And unless you are, you know, the males in the family, I'm not going to take your opinions. I'm not going to, you know, show you any grace or courtesy or kindness. It's all about the men. So I get it. I get it. Everybody saying hi. Yeah, my heart is sad for her too. I was almost not going to watch this because I really just want my memories of Wendy to be, you know, happy ones where she was at her prime and, you know, she was just that chick doing the doggone thing on TV. I really, really, really did not want to see her in this light. But now that I have, first of all, I'm absolutely watching part 2 tonight. Because I have questions. I have thoughts about what's going on here. First and foremost, I'm sorry, but y'all need to let the powers that be, y'all need to let us know who this guardian is. And not just us, you need to let the family know. The only reason why, after seeing part 1, that I think that the family was excluded, and again, not to give away too much of the documentary for those who have not finished watching it or who have not watched it but plan on watching it. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that they had someone on who is a legal expert, who's a lawyer, and who said that in the cases where the bank has now control, because like I said, if you put it in writing and leave it as a note in your bank account, the bank has to alert that person if you become incapacitated, or that person that you've identified has to now let the bank know and provide supporting documentation that you are now incapacitated and cannot conduct your business and financial affairs, and now they have to kick in. You need to put it in writing. Every woman in here, every woman that will hear this video, see this video after this, know that you need to take control of your own finances, your own destiny. You need to have a financial proxy, you need to have a medical proxy, and you need to have a will, because in the case that you don't have this document, and even though she may have a will, and I'm absolutely sure that Wendy does have a will, but in the case of her her finances, right? And her bank accounts and all of that. The reason why Wells Fargo was able to control it was that she didn't have any provisions in writing that told the bank what to do in the event of her becoming mentally or physically unable to conduct her finances. So if you learn nothing else from Brown Girl Bella besides makeup, honey, because this is what we all about, baby, doing that makeup. But also know, you need to take control of your finances. Let's see who else is saying, hey, feminine melanin, dropping stuff like a pigeon. You know me, boo. Drop. All day, every day. All day, every day. But that's okay. It didn't break. No harm, no foul. We made it through. We made it through. But yeah, always dropping ish. Always dropping ish. I thought I was going to use my Surratt concealer under here, but I like the way it's looking underneath here. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's grab our Pat McGrath primer. Again, this is not new, but we love her. Oh, and speaking of Pat McGrath and primer, honey, did y'all know that she finally changed the packaging on her skincare primer? She finally changed that joint. I'm so happy. I actually have another one waiting in the wings that I got from the brand. So I don't need any new primer, but if you do, no, she changed that packaging. I was hating on that packaging for a hot minute, but I won't be able to utilize the new packaging until I finish the old packaging. And I haven't even finished the one that I've already opened. So I don't know if we're going to be able to finish that new one that I have waiting in the wings until probably the end of the year. Hi, everyone. Recently got home and exhausted watching from the TV. Hey, from the TV. Hi, look on the TV. You're about to put it on now. Okay, good. Watch it. Watch me. Keep both things going. Keep both things going. All right. Oh, my Titi is here. Hello, Titi. Everybody say hello to my Titi, Wendy. My real Titi. That's my Titi. Tia, did you watch it last night? That was late for you. It was like 8:00. You be hanging though. You be hanging with Bella After Dark when I used to do it at 9:00. So I know you probably was up. But yeah, have the financial proxy. Here's the other thing. Now, there were reports that Kevin Jr., her son, her only son, had spent like $100,000, right? Yeah, I thought we were supposed to go to that. Somebody I think forgot. Somebody forgot because I remember them talking about it. I think somebody forgot. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody forgot. I ain't gonna say who, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me that forgot. Okay. And without that wig, come on. If you know anything about Wendy and wig are synonymous. Okay. She would not be caught without that wig on. Straight. Now, if she was in the homes of people that she trusted, like I know Don Williams, because I was on that Black Twitter, honey, last night. That was one thing. I was on that Black Twitter last night, throwing my own little jabs, side remarks, and the whole nine, because I have opinions and I'm not afraid to use them. That part. But Don Lemon had made a comment like, hey, when she's with me and she's around friends and people she trusts, yeah, she takes off her wig or she will entertain you without a wig. And there's times that she stayed over at Don's house and, she walked around with, her caftan and her wig or without her wig or whatever. And he would always say, like, don't take any photographs of her, whatever, because she was adamant, don't take any photographs of me. I'm just, here chilling and I want to chill. And, hopefully nobody like disrespects me and takes snide, side pictures or whatever. But I'm here, chilling with my boys and my people. And so I'm going to take my wig off. So that was fine. That was fine. I totally get it. But for her to be on national TV, as much as she talked about, she had pins in her wigs and she had things to make sure that her wig did not go anywhere. For her to be on Lifetime with no wig on, son, what you not gonna do is pee on me and then call it rain. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not going to have it be totally dark and tell me it's sunshine. Like, you're not gonna play me like that. And you're not gonna play my sis Wendy like that. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. But I love the fact that so many of us are like standing up for her and saying, no, we are advocates for her. We're saying to you straight up and down, Will, how does a damn jeweler become a manager anyway? How do we get that kind of come up? Because if you look on his Instagram, it's all about the jewelry. There's no mention of I'm a manager nowhere in his profile. So how'd you become a manager? Exactly. Here's my thoughts. And these are just my thoughts. Take it for what you want. We're using my favorite. If y'all didn't know, this is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. Or is it? It might be absurded by some of her newer ones that came out. But when I last did my MIDI palette review, Metropolis palette was my favorite. I gotta see if it's still my favorite though, because there's been many palettes out since then. Yucca palette. We're gonna go all the way through these first two rows right here. I'm gonna see how many I could put on my little lid space. We're gonna start off with the matte color in here, and we're gonna put that all over the lid. Yeah. How did a jeweler become a manager for Wendy? Wendy is not a silly woman. She does not suffer fools lightly. She's not one that goes off on impulses that affect her money. So how did you finagle that? I think, again, these are only my thoughts. I think that he was trying to cozy up to Wendy, because Wendy always talks about, she needs a man, and she wants a man in her company and blah 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 blah. Will, although he's not as tall as her ex, he's kind of built like her ex, meaning stocky. He's her type, quote unquote. He's her type. So what I think happened was that he cozied up to her. He kind of made her feel like he was her man. If you notice from the documentary, again, not to give too much away, but they asked, like, what is his role in your life? And she was like, he's my very, very good. And then she kind of paused and she said, friend. And then there was another portion of the documentary where she's like, turn this off, meaning like everybody leave and you come up to my room. Ma'am, what? Are we propositioning our quote unquote manager on national TV and telling him to come up to your room? And when she said that, she sort of gave the impression that, see, that's my grandmother flying that right out of my hand. Talk about, stop talking about people. Oh, please, I done dropped another ish. Okay, we're back. Let me wipe this off. Lord have mercy. Anyway, so then she started kind of insinuating that he was going up to her room, so they can handle some things, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. So I was floored. I was like, ugh. He looked greasy. He looked like he one of them grimy dudes from back in the day that did some things. You know what I mean? Came up on a come up. Probably some of them stones ain't really, what they supposed to be. Probably Fugazi stones. I feel like, he's. And here's the other thing. That I think is going on. I think that he is also sliding some money to Kelvin, her ex-husband. I think that Kelvin is somehow mixed up in this thing. The reason why I say that is because he has been a longtime jeweler of Wendy, which means he was a longtime jeweler of Kelvin. Because I remember that Kelvin was the one that discovered this jeweler. And that when Kelvin used to buy Wendy with her own money, but whatever. But he used to buy Wendy necklaces, rings, whatever. He would buy them from Will. So if Will is that good a friend with the ex, wouldn't you think if the jeweler that they both know in common is now the person that is in control of at least some of her finances or some of the actions that are going on, wouldn't it stand a reason that that old boy would be a party to that too? Follow me along here, babes. Follow me along here. I'm thinking that old boy still has his hand in the cookie jar. How I further think that he has his hand in the cookie jar is that him and Sharina supposedly broke up. And I think that was by design. Follow me here. That was by design that he and Sharina broke up so that he can have that in with Will and the health proxy and all of that. I think that his protests of being broke and not having any money is a little fugazi, a little bit like smoke and mirrors. I'm gonna put out this information here that I'm broke and but I'm still gonna be in the cookie jar here, and I'm break up with Sharina loudly and publicly so that they think that I'm not, I don't have any money or what have you, but I'ma still slide her, some dough, maybe some cash, on a sneak tip because, she has the baby. So I got to give her something, to shut up her holler. I just feel like it's all too convenient. You're not showing any footage of Kelvin. Now, I don't know if he's going to be in the footage for today's session documentary. I don't know if he's going to be in that, but I kind of feel like he's not being shown because he's one of those proxies. He's one of those proxies. How do you have a whole documentary about this woman who was your wife for 20 some odd years and you not be in nothing, a cameo, a soundbite, nothing? Doesn't hold true to me. Something in the buttermilk, as my grandmother used to say, ain't clean. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean. And you're not going to sit here and tell me that man who loved to be on camera, I don't care what nobody say, oh, I wanted to be behind the scenes. Listen, he a Brownsville thug. I know them Brownsville dudes. Brownsville and East New York are stone's throw from each other in Brooklyn. I know those dudes. Okay? And I know for certain that he's got his hands in there somewhere. It's going to come out. Because what's done in the dark, as my grandmother used to say, it always comes out in the light. Always. All right, let's see what else y'all talking about instead of saying hi. I know y'all saying hi to each other. That's wonderful. Vern says, when you have dementia, Alzheimer's, or any brain disease, you become mean-spirited. My prayers are with Wendy. Yeah, a lot of that is frustration because she is somewhat cognizant of the fact that she's not saying her words correctly. Again, if you look at the video, she said, I love Baca. I love Tito Puente. But she meant to say Tito's Baca. So I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. I do get it. And I do have or had family members who have suffered from, dementia or Alzheimer's. And I know people who have also suffered with that disease. And yes, that is very much one of the unfortunate side effects, that when you are losing memory, obviously you become, angry because your body is fighting against you. Things that you know inherently to do or to say, your body, your speech is no longer cooperating with you in that regards. So I totally get it. The state of New Jersey is awful. Why didn't the sister become the legal guardian or someone in her family? Okay, so I was going to talk about that and then I got sidetracked. So hold please one moment because I need to go check something and then I will be right back. I'm going to throw on the hold please. I'll be right back in a moment. Hold please. Hold please. Hold please. please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. She's back again. Hey, babes. Okay, we're back. And hey, Lou, welcome in. Hey, James Guy, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, so when last we talked about, so this comment, the reason why I think someone who is in her family cannot be the legal guardian, and it was touched upon a little bit by the attorney spokesperson or attorney that they brought in to kind of explain legally how a bank can do that. From what I understand and from what he said, one, I know she didn't have any provisions in place in her bank account, which you can do. You can tell your bank, in the event that I become incapacitated or I'm physically not able to conduct any business with your branch or with any of your branches, here is my financial proxy. It is in your file. I have one, and the person that I have identified has that paperwork. And so in the event something, God forbid, happens to me, that person would present those documents along with the certified court documents that you must have gotten prior to, which, goes in mind. They send somebody out to confirm that you are indeed incapacitated and not able to conduct your finances on your own. And so they will then rubber stamp that or certify it, authorizing that person to now kick in and handle your finances. So if she didn't have that, the thing to do is to go to the family and see who in the family can now take over these roles. What I think happened is, one, the father is, I believe, 90. So he's at an age where, he cannot physically do this. The son, who is in his 20s now, he might be deemed too young to do it. And I'm going to get to that financial portion of it in a minute, because I think some of that was over dramatized, but we're going to get to that in a second, and why I feel like that also hindered him in being put in place as the financial proxy. But then also, if the brother is fighting the sister for control, which I know Tommy, we all know from his, kind of off the cuff remarks here on YouTube when he had his YouTube channel. Don't know if he still has it. I never watched it. I watched what others put in place as clips from what he said. I'm not going to give him my view, just not. Something about him I'm not feeling either. But if there's fighting between him and the sister, which I believe out of all the family members, the sister should be the one. Her sister is, I believe, an attorney. And so her sister would be the natural person to do that. But if she is fighting with the brother, or she is fighting with any of the other family members, then they're going to block that because they're going to be like, there's too much, infighting here. And we don't feel that that's in the best interest of our client, Wendy. And so they're going to remove that from consideration. The only thing that I love about this guardianship, and I don't love any of it, but the only thing that is the saving grace here is that they kept repeating in the overheads, like in the little snippets inserted into the video, the little title cards, that this conservatorship gets evaluated every year. So I don't know when the next year cycle starts for it to be reevaluated, but I'm hoping it comes up real soon, because I'm not feeling the people who are currently in charge, who I feel you need to say who it is. Let us know who these guardians are. And if anything, maybe you don't let us know. Maybe we too nosy. Maybe we should know everything. The court documents are sealed for a reason. Blah, blah, blah. At least let the family know. How does the family not know who's in charge of their sister? This is her older sister. She's the middle. Wendy's the middle child. So her older sister can't do it. Her father is elderly. He can't do it. Her son is young, and they've already kind of diminished his role by saying that when he did have proxy over some of her finances, they're saying that he misused the funds. Now, that may rightfully be so. He's young, and he's in control of a lot of money. Wendy will probably say, yeah, go ahead and do it, because she let him do whatever. And so, yeah, he may have ran up that bill. If you're eating Uber Eats, and I know because I've given them already a pretty penny, not $100,000 worth of pennies, but I've given them a pretty penny over the past few months, because I too am not really cooking, but that's for other reasons. However, I can see where and how the bill can run up. The only color that I have not used in here is the green. I was trying to figure out like where to use the green, but I kind of want to keep it with the browns and the bronzes in here. I love it. I ran, which color did I run? I think it was, this color is in the inner corner, but I think I ran the gold along the lash line. Yeah. Oh no, wait, hang on. Yeah, this is what I did. So I ran this gold under the lash line. So I think I'm good here. We're gonna do the lashes next, but that's where my mind is at, babes. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that there was something between the sister and the brother that is preventing either of them from handling Wendy's finances. You know who I think should do it if it's not her son? The niece. I think the niece has her best interests at heart. I think she inherently wants the best for her aunt. She wants to see her get better. She was very believable. Her son is very believable too, in what he was saying. But I really loved and supported the niece. I think that she has a good head on her shoulders. She's smart. Wendy is always consider her very smart. Wendy is also her godmother. So she loves Wendy. You can see she loves Wendy. And you can see and hear it in her voice as she's even going around on these news circuits talking about this, that she really wants the best for her aunt. Angel said, you could talk about it. I'm watching it now. I think everyone can learn from this situation. I remember when my ex was in life support, his brother pulled the plug on him. They hadn't spoken in 5 years. There you go. There you go. So in those cases, you should absolutely, and if things change, that's a good point, Angel, because should things change a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever it can be in your life, maybe you've fallen out with a family member, maybe you've fallen out with the people or the person that you've designated as your proxies. Go back to the attorneys and change it. You can even write in the change, go to a notary and have it notarized if you don't want to pay like a legal bill to go and get these changes done. You can always go into a certified notary. And I wish Terry was here because I believe he is a notary. So he can talk about this part, but I believe you can go to a notary, sign it in front of a witness, changing that portion, initialing it, and having that notary notarize it, putting a copy where you can get it, and also putting it where your bank can have access to it too. Guys, don't forget, please thumbs up this video and share it out to everyone you know if you can. Let them come in and get this good information and find out a lot about it. Hey, Sugar's in here. Is Sugar Love in here? Hey, Sugar. If you're in here, say hi. Angel says, I was at the hospital every day and his brother only came 2 times in 8 weeks. That breaks my heart, Angel. That really breaks my heart. But it goes to amplify my point. If you want things done, you have to put it in writing. You have to get it notarized, and you have to have it where people can get access to it and that you can get access to it. You, whoever that person is, should have a copy of it that they can easily put their hands on. And even if you didn't have time to get it to the bank or to get it to the hospital, to get it where it needs to go, that person should have it so that they can then do what they need to do. Now, I'm going to tell you, they could and they can contest it. But if it's in your words, it's in your writing, and they will check to make sure that you are of sound mind, sound body when you signed off on these. I know in the case of when I did my paperwork, they, had someone come in and witness it and certify that, I came in of my own volition, and this is things that I wanted to do of my own volition. Nobody was coercing me to do this. They asked tons and tons of questions. Just putting on my eyelash primer. You all know I love this step as something to just, coat my lashes, because I do love to put on that mascara, honey. So they will check, make sure that you are of sound mind, sound body when you have entered into this agreement. And they keep a copy in the legal offices. You leave with a copy that is notarized. You can make those copies to whomever your proxies are. And I also suggest that you have different proxies if you can. Sometimes, it's not available for you to have multiple proxies, but you should try to have a different medical proxy from your financial proxy. Because, if you don't have somebody who is rock solid that you truly, truly trust with both your medical and your financial concerns, then the person who is in charge of both of those things can make decisions on your body and your finances. So make sure you trust them. This is not something to lead to your best girlfriend or, your man that you've known for, X amount of years, less than 10, you know, and y'all, signing off proxy information. No. This is somebody who you need to have decades worth of experience with, that you see how they are with their own finances, how they are with their own medical care, that you guys discuss openly and honestly in the event of anything. What are your wishes? What do you want? And that also leads me to another great point that I want to make sure we talk about here, while I have you all captive in my clutches. In that documentary, they were talking about Wendy's doctors and things like that. And I remember vividly, because I was like, oh, I need to make sure that my doctor does this for me. I remember Wendy talking, and I believe it was on her actual show, when talking about her medical, like, physicals and things of that nature. She always talked about how she had a team of doctors and that they checked everything. They checked her stool, they checked, they did a thorough and complete check, is what I'm trying to say. And I was like, oh, I need to make sure that when I get my primary care doctor and we start doing these physicals, that this is also checked for me too, because she was saying how, they check your blood. Oh, and they also did a check of her spinal fluid. This is important because when you're checking spinal fluid, a lot of these issues that she is now currently having, quote unquote, those would have been caught if they're doing spinal taps. Because if you understand what that, drawing out that spinal fluid does, it does include the brain, because the spine is connected to the brain. It's all connected. So as they're pulling out that fluid, they would be able to detect any brain deterioration. Now, I don't know when the last time she had this done was, and if the last time she had it done, whether or not the deterioration started, but certainly with her history of drug abuse and such, they would have checked that. Any sound doctor would have checked that. So that's another red flag that was going off in my head, because I remember vividly how detailed she was about the process that her team of doctors did in her physical, to the point where I wrote that down to say to my doctor, like, hey, when I get to be age, I want this done. I want that checked. I want, the fluid, looked at, and see, if there's anything that I need to be aware of, proactively start working on. Something is not ringing true to me. I know he marched. Ain't no way. I know my way. You're right. There's just too many alarms. Hey, Lou, saying yeah. Welcome in, James. Yeah, welcome in, James. Skype guy. Hi, Red Sunshine. Everybody saying hold, please. Shady on the real. A lot of people, especially men, want to be Wendy. Listen. That man gives me Shady Boots vibes. I don't believe him as a jeweler. I think he be jipping people on that. I don't believe him. I definitely don't believe him as a manager. Who are you managing? Who are you managing? There's no, like I said, there's no mention of him managing squat on his Instagram. And these people that he was supposedly in talks with for this podcast, Will knows podcast. Will don't know. I was gonna say something nasty. But you know where I was going, y'all. He don't know ish. Okay? He don't know ish. I doubt if he know jewelry. I definitely know that he don't know nothing about no managing. And he definitely, sorry, Wendy, he don't know nothing about no podcast. He don't know nothing about, he might have watched a podcast. He might have watched a podcast, but he ain't do no podcasting. And he definitely don't know enough to guide Wendy in terms of who to choose. Because if you notice in that clip, she was rattling off everybody that she would want on this podcast. And then wasn't that the same girl that then ended up being her publicist or whatever, working with her? Y'all who watched the first documentary, am I wrong on that? I don't think I am. That the girl that they were talking to was ended up on her staff. It just all sounds Shady Boots to me. Shady Boots, and it rings like a cash grab, like a mug. It screams all kinds of cash grab, cash grab, cash grab. They're going to try to milk her little funds dry until they can no longer get anything else from her, and then throw her in one of them facilities to just waste away for the rest of her days. This is what I'm seeing. I hope to God that next review of whoever the guardian is happens ASAP. Happens ASAP because it needs to. Kelvin has been going in the last few weeks. Going in on what? I haven't seen anything. What has he been saying? What has he been saying? So that's good if he's talking about the same thing we talking about, that something in the buttermilk ain't clean and whoever's in charge needs to not be in charge. Then cool, we saying the right things. However, it's the same dude that started siphoning off her money for the cleanup woman. And those of y'all who are seething on my channel, y'all know what the cleanup woman is, right? Also known as the side chick, also known as that H over there, you know, garden tool. That one. He was siphoning off money for old girl. Okay, we ain't forget Kelvin. We ain't forget you, Kelvin. Okay, we know all about you, Kelvin. Okay, so sit your tail down somewhere and be quiet. Quiet. Silencio. Su boca. Stevie Wonder can see something ain't right about this whole situation. Absolutely. If we learn anything, even before the documentary, we know something in the buttermilk ain't clean, baby. Oh, we got the new Pat McGrath and Marc Jacobs Lipstick, we did. Oh, hold on. Hold, please. Let me give y'all. Yes, 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 yes. It is called Forbidden Love. And y'all, I checked. I scoured my collection. I don't have it. How do I not have it? How is that even possible? I got it now, though. Look at this bullet. Oh my gosh. I need a red, like I need a hole in the head. But this joint here, baby, baby. I had to have it. Had to have it. You see her? Y'all see her, right? Did I need her? No, we didn't need her. But is she everything? Yes. Yes, she is everything. Yes, she absolutely is everything. That's all. Enough said. So it comes in this packaging. So cute. And it even had like a little insert with Pat's logo on one side and just Marc Jacobs on the other. This is celebrating his 40 years in the beauty design business. As you know, Marc Jacobs does many things: clothing, handbags, accessories, makeup, perfume, you name it, he got it. And when this collaboration came, I was like, I must have it. I must have it in my collection. I was going to get two because I wanted to, like, have one that was pristine. But I was, I know myself. I'm going to be like, if I have two, I'm going to use them both. I'm not going to save it unless I put it up somewhere. And then even if I do, it'll probably be more of like a collector's thing and not something that I would even part with. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to part with it. I'm not going to sell it. Why? Why? I'm not. So I just got the one. But if you want it, it's still available, $39. Pat McGrath and marcjacobs.com, marcjacobsbeauty.com is where you can get it. And I will leave both in the description box. Yeah, we saw about Stevie Wonder. Yes, I know, boo. See, Angel said, I also think she is being medicated and that can play with her emotional state. Yeah, it definitely reads on camera that it's more than alcohol. It is much more than alcohol. It is pills, or it is some sort of what you call it? What do you call those things? Sedatives. That's what I was looking for. The word I was looking for. Sedatives. It is something to sedate. Because if you look at how she was sleeping, there's one point where she was like sleeping, but it was like her eyes were semi-open and her mouth was open and agape. That ain't alcohol. That's not alcohol. That is some kind of something else. Some kind of something else. I don't know what else, but it's something else. It definitely is not just alcohol. So yeah, I definitely think that they're doping her up. Hey, Miss Edna, my 12K Bay is in the house. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, what else can I say? The communicator has lost the ability to communicate. That's the saddest thing of all. If you know anything about Wendy, she had command of the English language. You can see it from her niece to her son to her nephew, who looks to me like he got the bluest, purplish lips, like he been hitting the Black and Miles with old Shannon Sharp real hard. And if you know, you know. That's some back in the day. I was like, Lord, what's going on with the lips? Can we get that situation fixed up? What's happening here? What is happening here? And that's also quietly, that's also the one that got Kevin Jr. hooked. Well, not really a junior because his father's name is Kelvin, but I digress. But it also got little Kev hooked on that synthetic marijuana. Remember when her and Kelvin had to take him somewhere and get him fixed up because he was out of his mind and crazed? That part. Which, now that I'm thinking about the whole situation, that may have had something to do with the fact that he can't be the guardian as well. It's because he had his own substance abuse issue. Yeah. You see how, babes, you helping me with this here situation, working it out? That could also be what has happened in this situation. Oh my gosh. Agreed, Angel. If we our affairs like our underwear, I guess treat our affairs like underwear, I think we would pay more attention to it. We have to stop making excuses and get stamina needed to set things up right. Yeah. I mean, I know family doesn't know. Yeah. You better use that green. Well, where? I could probably use it underneath the eye a little bit. I just put the Miss Burns loves her green. This is a pretty green though. Quietly, this is a very pretty green. All right, let me see what I could do for my Miss Burns here. Miss Burns loves her green. I love my green too. I love my pink and I love my green. If you know, you know. All right. Ooh. The niece does seem sincere. Okay. Okay, Burns. We use the green. I'm feeling it. Right underneath that bronze. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling not too much, but just enough. I'm gonna go back with that bronze shade. I'm gonna wipe off. Let me wipe off this brush because I need to put a little bit more right here in this corner. Brighten that up. Oh, oh. Y'all see why this is my favorite, right? First of all, is Natasha's love letter to New York, my hometown. Oops, we got a little fallout there. It's all right. Let me get a small brush. Try to flick some off. There we go. Come on, clean brush. Flick that off right quick. All right. So that could very well be it. Okay, Burns. We got a little green there. So we used all the colors, all the things, first two rows. Beautiful. This is her love letter to New York City. It's one of my favorites. This is my birth town, New York. I'm a Brooklyn chick all day, every day. I've used every color in here. And I've had it for a very long time. I don't live in New York anymore. So when that kind of stuff goes on, the alarms and sirens and stuff, I'm like, really? Why is that even happening? Why is that even happening? Okay. Denise does seem sincere, but again, something's going on. Something's happening. Something's happening. She also has Graves' disease. She was a heavy drug user back in the day, and I believe these things catch up to you in later years. Yes, they both do. By the way, how shady boots was it of both the makers of the drug that helps Graves' disease and Lifetime to throw in those commercials every time they went to commercial, that drug for the bulging eyes and the symptoms that you get from Graves' disease came on. I was like, that's great because it helps people, but also little shady boots there, in my opinion, my humble opinion, little shady boots, little bit of shade. And then speaking of shade, the chick that was from Vice Media, why was she there? If you're gonna ish on Wendy, do it on your own platform. Why are you doing it on her platform? Well, this is a documentary about her. Why are you in here with this nonsense? Who did they pick for this thing? Who are they choosing for this documentary? Her family definitely should have been in there. Although I don't like him, Kelvin would have made sense to put in there as well. And let's see who else. Surprisingly, no one from the Wendy show. They all declined to comment. Thumbs up, y'all. And don't forget to share this out. Love you, mean it. How do I do that? Yay, there we go. Love you, mean it. All right, so how's that? You work for these people for so many years, and at the end of it all, they have nothing to say. Another thought I had, though, when I saw that, was that maybe one of them is a proxy. Because if you remember, they were saying something about how she needed to have tests done before she can come back to work. I wonder if somebody in there is her proxy. Because I feel like whoever it is, we know it's not family. We know it's not her longtime friend, Regina, who looks like hard times, honey. I mean, I don't really knock anybody's, looks or whatever. But when I saw her, I was like, ooh, she looked like she had a hard life. You know what I mean? You know how you look at people and you be like, she's had some things happen to her. She's definitely had some things happen to her. So I think that it's somebody independent and maybe somebody that she used to work with. You know what I mean? I don't know. Angel says, wow, this is saddening. It's the way they're depicting her. I don't want to watch, but I do want to. It's not sitting right in my spirit. And that's what I struggled with the entire time. But at the end, I said to myself, I'm going to watch this because one, I don't want people to talk about it and I haven't seen it because I want to see it for myself. And also, I got freaking questions. And I feel like as Jane Q Public, we need to use our platforms as a sounding board. And I choose to use this platform as a sounding board to say, get your ish together, ladies and gentlemen, or this can happen to you. As Wendy said, in one of her most lucid moments during this documentary, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And I totally and completely believe that. Because it's not just about who is wealthy and who's got, a lot of money in the bank accounts or what have you, but it's also about the John and JQ public and what these banks and what these doctors are entitled to do if you don't have anybody advocating for you. You see it whenever you go to the doctor, whether it is you or a family member or someone you know. Unless you have people who are coming in around the clock and checking in on you, these doctors and these nurses, hey, I'll check on you when I got a minute. Okay. The squeakiest wheel gets the oil. So the ones who's got the family that's like knocking on the doors and asking questions and writing it down and making sure that, you film the doctor saying what he's saying or she's saying so that you can relay it down the line to the other family members. Unless you're doing that on a consistent basis, and I don't mean just one person, I mean see multiple people. Okay, see multiple people. I'm an only child, right? And when my mother got sick, I was at her house. I think I was living with her at the time. And we were walking together to the train station. And she was trying to tell me that she wanted to go to the bank. True story. She was trying to tell me she wanted to go to the bank. But what came out was, and I stopped her and I looked at her, and one side of her face wasn't looking right. I immediately hailed a taxi, got her to NYU because I know that's where she goes to her medical doctor. And I called her doctor and was like, we need somebody in here to evaluate my mother right now. She's slurring her words. To me, it looks like she might be having a stroke. They got to her instantly. They did tests on her and determined she did have a mini stroke. Turns out she had a blockage in her heart that was, causing the stroke, and they got to it immediately. But I, only child, hailed that taxi, got her ass in there and got her to the hospital. What would have happened if I had not been there in that moment? We're talking, we lived in Harlem, Spanish Harlem. Maybe somebody would have been a good Samaritan. Maybe she would have laid there on the street. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. Always make sure that you have someone in place to be your advocate. Because if you don't, honey, nobody else will. Nobody else will. And these people, you're just a dollar sign to them. You're just an insurance copay to them. It's not going to matter as much to them as it will to your family members and the people who love you if something, God forbid, should happen. I heard it's not a fun procedure, usually reserved for you when you've had related concerns. Oh, the spinal tap. Yeah, I know. I had one when I had my son. I had an epidural. It is not fun at all. You have to be very, very still. It is very uncomfortable because you can't see what's going on. When they're pulling, and it's a different thing because when I had my epidural, they were putting something in. In the case that I'm describing, they're actually removing spinal fluid. So that is very painful. And I'm not quite sure, but I think you could only have localized anesthesia. So they can't put you to sleep when they do it. So you will feel the very uncomfortableness of that procedure. But again, if it is between that and finding out years down the line that I had something that I could have tried to prevent or tried to stave off, prick me all day, twice on Sunday. Is today Sunday? Today's Sunday. Prick me twice. I don't care. I need to know. I'm the type of person I need to know, because if I can course correct, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. That manager, that's not a manager. Where's the documentary located? Everywhere. Some of it was shot at her penthouse in Manhattan, which she's no longer at. She's moved out. I think she's in a medical facility currently, but who knows? Again, the family don't even know where she is. Part of it was shot in Florida, where she went to be with her son. And her family, her whole family is there, including her father is in Florida. Some of it was shot, I guess, in California. I don't know where she was when she was in California. Looks like maybe either a luxury Airbnb, or maybe she has property there in California. Not really sure. But yeah, it was shot all over the place. Hey, creative ladies in the house. Hey, sis. Hey, Soror. Ready for part 2? Yep, I'm ready for part 2 too. I'm going to heat up my food. I'm going to have my little snack. And yeah, I think I'm even going to pop some wine for this one, because my nerves was shoddy yesterday. I was so like overcome with emotion seeing the Wendy Williams, who's always been so vibrant, so vivacious, so energetic, so quick with the quibs and the comebacks and what have you, just fall into like a shell of who she once was. It's just sad. It's just sad. Ray Sunshine says that's probably what it's leading to, a facility. And then the facility gets rich. Just a continuum of padding others' pockets. Exactly. Garden. You know, boo, you know. Pretty. Oh, you like the final look? Thank you. Come on, let's get a little close up. Eyes. I need to get my brows done. It's time to make another appointment with Kiara. Angel baby's name is Kiara too. But I'm going to make an appointment with Kiara at Sephora. Hopefully she's still there, because she needs to clean up underneath my brows, especially towards the tail. Like there's a lot of scraggly hairs here that I need to clean up. So we're going to get that done this week. Maybe I'll take you with me on that too. We always have a good time. Hey, Edna, how I miss you. Come in. Aw. Everybody saying hi. Yep, green, baby. With that green under there. And then the lipstick, honey, very comfortable. Baby, yes, you can. You can hear us, saying you can hear her. Hey, and the Alzheimer's commercial came on too. Exactly. Shady Boots. How they do her like that? Did you see that one of her former staffers was found unalive? Okay. I was gonna wait till Thursday for Bella After Dark to talk about this, but let's get into it real quick. So Matt Uzel is his name. He was the head of production, and he has been the head of production back when Wendy Williams was on, and it was the Wendy Williams show. Now he's the head of production for Sherri Shepherd. Recently became unalive after a probe was conducted, because they had found out that the rent on where they shoot the Sherri Shepherd show and where they shot Wendy hadn't been paid for 6 months, and petty cash was being missing. and other things that he was in charge of was not getting done. And so they launched an investigation. The head of the production, Debmar Mercury, launched an investigation, and he had said to them that he was going to check his files and see what happened and then get back to them. Well, when he left for work that day, he never came back. And so I guess they had sent someone to his home to check and found out that he was unalive. So what it's looking like is that he embezzled the money. For what purpose, we don't know. But he did have a condo. I don't know if it was all paid off or, what was going on. I don't know if he, had a habit, whether it was drug related or gambling or what have you, or he was just being greedy. But that money was missing. And so when they launched the investigation, they discovered that he was the person that was charged, so most likely he was the one that took it. So that's what's going on, and that's the latest that I know to date. But yeah, I'm sure more is going to come out. It is hard to. It's a very hard show, documentary to watch. Most documentaries are hard hitting like that, but there's something about this one, and I think it's because those who know Wendy know her as being this, like I said, vivacious, larger than life person with this larger than life personality, and to see her now as, a shell of who she once was is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Like I said, everyone in this family has a commanding use of the English language. I wish I could pronounce things and speak as eloquently as they do. The mother did, the father did, the sisters did, the brother does, the extended family, Kevin Jr., Travis, who is the sister Wanda's son, the daughter who is Wanda's daughter. All of them speak immaculately well. So Wendy, of course, did as well. Plus, she went to Northeastern, which is a very prestigious school for communications. Because I am a communications major too, communications and media arts and marketing. But had I solely gone the communications route, I probably would have gone to Northeastern. Although it's not a Black school, it's not an HBCU. It is a private white institution. It is top notch in New England for communications. If you want that prestigious, communications degree, that's where you go. Yeah, she's a guinea pig that's being stuck with all kinds of medicines and plied with liquor. Like, again, the jeweler supposed manager telling her how you get the liquor in. You're giving her cash money. She is Wendy freaking Williams. You think she can't call down to the local liquor store and say, I'm Wendy Williams, bring me some liquor, I got cash, I'll pay you? Done. You're all yes men. You probably would have won bringing her in all of those bottles to begin with. And because production probably found it, now you got to trot it out like, oh, I found the da-da-da. You ain't fine-ish. You probably put it there. I don't put nothing past you, Will. True. Quality of life is priceless and matchless. Yeah. You cannot buy that. Just like you can't buy time. What channel? I mean, is it on to? Oh, it is on Lifetime. So the second part comes on, I believe, at 8:00, but I believe they're running part 1 again now, and then it's going to roll into part 2. 6 months. That's us. Yeah. Allegedly. You right, so allegedly. Am I the only one hoping this is still an act to keep Kelvin out her pockets? But I'm a realist. Yeah, at first I thought that too until I saw the documentary, and I was like, she's not that good of an actress. She's a good actress, but she ain't that good of an actress. Man, and if she is, brava. Brava, sis, because you had us all fooled. You got us all fooled. If she is the Angela Bassett of the Angela Bassett's. Okay? If she is not really doing this. Because, honey, that's a hard act to follow if you acting. That's amazing. I'm hoping so still the creative late. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. I'm back. Had to do a short, quick video. Yeah, I need to run out of here. It's 2 hours, but this was 2 hours well spent. Y'all, if you have not seen the documentary and you want to watch it, it is on at Lifetime. I'm sure they're gonna run this in the ground because their numbers were through the roof last night. And then it repeated itself, I think, at least twice last night. So no doubt it will repeat itself again at least twice now, and probably play through the week too. I'm sure they're going to be replaying this as many times as they possibly can. Ooh, excuse me, to get all of the coins that they can possibly get. Another reason why, before we go, and I do want to talk about my perfumes a little bit, because I did put on some perfume today, because I thought I was going out, but it is, what time is it? 6:00, and the person I was supposed to go out with ain't say nothing to me, so I'm assuming that went bye-bye. Anywho, the other reason that made me think of Debmar Mercury as being somewhat in control of her, if not health, but her finances, or a combination of the both, is because, if you recall, production was stopped many times. And when production is stopped, the producers have to shove out that money. So they probably are in the hole for several thousands of dollars, because, even when the Sherri Shepherd now came on, the first things that Sherri was saying was that, money is tight. We don't have the budget to do this. We don't have the budget to do that. And so that leads me to believe that maybe they are trying to recoup some of what they lost in Wendy as a talent by getting to her Wells Fargo account. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. It could happen. I've seen stranger things happen to people. So that's another one to put on your, put on your thinking caps as we watch part 2. Let me know in the comments, in the chat or what have you, if you are watching part 2. I know I'm going to be watching part 2. I'm going to heat up my food. I'm going to get a little snacky snack. But before we go, I did want to talk about the fragrances that I'm using, because I did get another new fragrance with my $100 rouge note that I got from Sephora. I hope they send more. The rouge, the semi-annual beauty event is coming on April 5th through the 15th, right around the time for tax day. Ain't they slick? Anywho, they don't have any more. I just checked to see if they had another rouge exclusive, but they don't. But they usually have these $100. It's like a gift certificate. And with that, you can buy fragrances. You can buy, whatever you want. So I did buy a new fragrance, It is by Killian. You know, I love Killian fragrances. And I like to buy this size, which is their travel sprays. I like to buy this size so I can kind of decide if I like it or not. Let me tell you about the perfume and the notes. This is Born to Be Unforgettable. This is a Eau de Parfum, and it is a travel spray. It retails for $37. The notes in here, and let me pull those up. The notes in here, and it is in the Killian fragrance family of warm and spicy. As you know, he categorizes his fragrance and puts them in different families. So this is in the family of warm and spicy. It is very cool with spices too, but the key notes in here are cola, like is in Coca-Cola, which is very, very strong. It's almost like a spicy Coca-Cola. Like if you're drinking a Coca-Cola and get that fizz, but it's spicy, that's what this is. But the other notes in here are cinnamon and cedarwood, which is also very prominent. The scent, you know, does remind me of that fizzy cola kind of fragrance. And it also has vanilla in it. So you know what I did, right, babes? I tried this yesterday on its own. The legs on this thing is long. So if you want a fragrance that is kind of nighttime, that you want to wear out and you want it to last, 37 bucks. Money well spent. But because this has a vanilla note in it, I paired it with my Vanilla Sex by Tom Ford. Let me tell you, if I could, I would spray this on all y'all because all of you need to smell this good because it smells good. The Vanilla Sex by itself is very ladylike with a little sexy tude to it. So it plays on that cola. It brings out that vanilla in there, that note vanilla in there. And baby, it is, and both of them last a good long time. Both of them do last a good long time. But baby, together, it reminds me of that Fabulous song, Good All By Myself. But when we're together, it's better. It's better together, honey. It is so, so good. It's so, so good. Honey, get it. Get it. Let me see if the Vanilla Sex is now in a smaller size. Sometimes they do have like a smaller, nope, they don't. They don't. Probably next year. Tom Ford, sometimes he comes out with like a travel spray. Maybe around Mother's Day he might do it. But the smallest size is, I think, the one that I have. Yeah, is this size. And it is $250. Honey, this by itself is delicious. Just delicious. And it does have legs as well. But baby, when I paired this today with this Killian, because the Killian, let me tell you, I sprayed a little bit on my wrist, on the inside of my wrist. I woke up, took a shower, everything. I went to smell my wrist. It was still there beyond the shower. Not lingering heavy, because of course, the shower washes it away quite a bit, but it was still lingering. So this has legs. And for $37, if you like a scent that is, it's gonna kick you. It's gonna kick you. That fizzy scent, it's heaty. It's very, very heaty. But baby, it lasts. It lasts. It lasts. And it reminds me, of a fizzy, spicy Coca-Cola. Weird, I know, but it works. It definitely works. What is that? Girlfriend, not Wells Fargo, helping with recoup. Maybe Think about it. Think about it. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. It's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes. Oh, yay! Terry, you're in here. Terry, we were talking about notaries earlier. I don't know if you caught it, but I was saying to the babes in here that if you have to make a change to your documentation, whether it be your health proxy or your financial proxy, whatever, if you have to write in a change, can you go in to a notary with a another person to witness it and get that notarized and it still be a binding document, or do you have to go back to the attorney? Yep, that's how it's spelled. Killian, Killian. And he is part of the Hennessy family. He branched off and did fragrances. So his fragrances always have like a masculine and feminine kind of side to them. This right here can absolutely be a unisex fragrance. I can see men using this as well as women. um it's really oof, 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 oof. It's sexy time when that's on. It is definitely sexy time. Oh, you do okay. Oh, good to know. So babes, I stand corrected. You do have to go back to the attorney to get it re done. That's interesting. That's interesting, especially since my lawyer said otherwise. He said you can go to the notary and get it done. But maybe in different states it's different. Could be. Check the laws in your state, which is another good thing to know anyway. Check the laws in your state as it relates to health proxies, as it relates to power of attorney, as it relates to financial proxies. Know what you can and can't do in your state. Awesome. All right, babes, we are a little over 2 hours. I need to get my food together, get my prep work done so that I can be seated in front of the TV and watch part 2 of this Wendy Williams documentary. We are going to be discussing it again on Thursday for Bella After Dark. So make sure that you come in. It times will either be 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. I'm thinking it'll probably be 7 p.m. again, just because the nature of everything. I anticipate another lively discussion. So definitely want to do that. Yeah, we can definitely do a watch party. Yeah, I would love that. Love and light, love and light. Thank you. Well, I've never notarized that document. Yes, different states have different notary laws. Yay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, everyone, enjoy your week. Don't forget to, as I'm thumbing up, give me a thumbs up. Share this out. Let people know. Come back on Thursdays because she be doing the doggone thing. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Check your local listings. It comes on tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So check what time it comes on Lifetime, part 2 of the Wendy Williams documentary. And don't worry, if you missed part 1, it'll probably replay again after this part 2. So, and you'll have plenty of time to watch it in between now and Thursday anyway. So we are all prepared with our opinions and our thoughts, because we're going to have them, about what we saw in this documentary. 4 hours of Wendy. Woo! Ciao. All right, babes. Thank you. Until next time, you have now been Bellafied. Love you. Bye.